Hello, Gemini. It's your turn for your love reading for January 2019. I hope you guys are doing well. What I'm basically doing here is this is a challenge or a situation, the challenge, what's going on within the relationship or where it's headed. And then what you are going through and internalize, and what the other person potentially that you're in a relationship with, or if you're single, then, just whoever you're dealing with. So let's get in with it. Alright, give me a minute to look at the cards. This message for the Geminis may apply to some, but not all. So if it doesn't resonate with you, just take it as a grain of salt. That's not your message, but if it does apply, just take it. So this was on the bottom of the deck, the Hermit. And then after that was the Three of Wands. And then the Ace of Cups, and then the Page of Cups. So I'm feeling with whatever the card is saying, the Hermit. Within the relationship, you've had to look within. You've had to see things for what they are, I feel like. And, sometimes in relationships, we get to a place where things are always the same, or things are out of place a little bit, and I just feel like it's sometimes to really make things better and make the changes within the relationship, we have to have that place and that space for ourselves to really go within and really, try to reassess the relationship. So I feel like within the relationship, you, Gemini, are making a lot of changes. And the universe does have your back, especially with the Ace of Cups and the card below. The universe does have your back. And I know a lot of Geminis, they can get a lot of, not in their head, but feeling anxious at times, feeling worried and struggling. And so the situation that you're having to deal with in the relationships is the Six of Swords and the Four of Cups. Try to hold that better. So I'm feeling within the relationship, especially a situation, the challenge, you're having to, it doesn't necessarily have to do with a relationship, but maybe someone that you knew. Things were unclear. Usually, the Six of Swords, you're dealing with a lot of disappointments. It could be a past situation. It doesn't have to be what's happening now, but it looks like the situation, the challenge, is having to deal with this disappointment. So maybe within the relationship, things weren't everything you want it to be. And I just feel like, you want things to be better. And there's this part of me that says, with the Nine of Six, or the Six of Swords, that you've had to let go of what does not serve you and what does not work for the relationship, and whatever this disappointment or this offer that came in, and maybe in some way you had to deal with disappointment of why this had to happen. But where the relationship is going is justice. So I feel like, you are moving forward to calmer waters and to something that works better for the relationship. So I do feel like, in some way there possibly, this balance that you're trying to balance within the relationship with this other person you're dealing with. Now you have the Queen of Cups and then the Death card in reverse. So I feel like whatever happened with you and another person, or is happening, you're trying to, you're trying to make the best of a worse situation, whatever that may be, and you are transforming in the relationship. And that's what I feel like, you've had to deal with a lot of these retrogrades in this past year that have really transformed you. And I feel like, you're feeling good, but within yourself, you're feeling transforming. So there's a lot of, you have the two twins. So, you feel good, but you're having to transform your life. And I feel like with this new year, you're going to have to transform things and change things and reassess things that were not serving you, and you've had to do a lot of work internally. So that is good news. Now, whoever you're dealing with, they have the King of Wands and they have the Devil. So I feel like whoever you're dealing with, Gemini, they're having to deal with things in their own way of, it could have been something that they've, within the relationship, they've had to look hard truths, and they've had to deal with their own battles and their struggles, and maybe in some way things within the relationship took a toll on them. But I feel like they're moving past that, especially with the King of Wands. They're trying to um, do as you are doing, trying to recess things, trying to you know um, deal with their own demons and deal with their own transformation, because you got the Death card in reverse and they have the Devil. So you both have that kind of same energy going on where you're trying to deal with a transformation within the relationship, especially where this is going, the Justice. There's a lot going on with both of you, and I just feel like, it may have not been easy. This could have been a past situation that you've had to deal with this other person, and it was pretty ugly. And they seen in some way, things that were pretty ugly about you. But I just feel like wherever the relationship going is getting better. It's not something to look at as a bad thing. It's just sometimes we have to see in both each other, the imperfections, the things that don't work, even these disappointments within the relationships that we have to deal with. So I hope that makes sense in some way to you, Gemini, one of you. Anyways, bye bye.